Hello everybody and welcome to my underground cave here. This is Ben with Hitbox Sounds. I just want to kind of take you guys through some of the functionality we've got going here in our Unreal FMOD kind of combo implementation demo here. So first thing I'm going to do is spawn a couple of enemies here. Let's get some guys going. Here they come. The effect we want to be looking at today is these souls. Kind of how we create audio based on those. So let's jump over into our FMOD session here. And so here we can see the whole sound. It's really just kind of two sounds on top of each other, an aura and more of a tonal aura underneath it. You blend these two together to get this sort of ghostly apparition. We're using FMOD especially because it's got this built-in event distance. And so what we want is as that soul approaches our player, we want to hear that reflected in the audio. So we can actually listen to it. As it gets further away, you just hear this top aura. As it moves closer, however, we're going to get that tonal sound as it approaches us. We're also getting a little pitch up, you can see right here, from 5 to 7.5 as it approaches our player, just to kind of build that anticipation as it moves towards. And then once it finally does contact our player, we've got our collected here. We flip this parameter, we get that final sound. What's really great about this is we wanted to create a every single soul blueprint that comes out has to have its own kind of unique tone and unique identity. And we do that here via our pitch shifter that's on the whole track. What this allows us to do is every time we collect a soul and the aura, they'll match in pitch. So you can get this very sort of musical sound to it, but they need to match with the aura as well. So you get that using this collect parameter allows us to do that, as opposed to using two separate events. It becomes a little more difficult to match tones because you're going to have to figure out how much we're pitching by and then transfer that to both your collect event and your aura event if they're separating them. So using a parameter to drive that is a lot easier, we found. On the Unreal side of things, we can take a look here into our soul item. This is what gets generated when our enemies are toast. So first thing that's going to happen when we generate the soul, we have a combo counter that's going to kind of build up, counting the souls that we're generating. And then once we hit a certain amount of time between counting souls, we're going to knock that back to 0. Sort of like building a combo in any fighting game. So first we start those two off right there. Next, we're going to start here, play our soul aura as soon as that gets generated. And the soul's going to sit for a little while before it moves towards our player. This random float in range is going to tell each soul how long to wait prior to moving, right? And then we're going to hit this next move here, which is going to bring us right down to the actual movement of it. We have a whoosh sound effect, a little classic whoosh right here that we can hear. It's going to play when that soul starts to move. Now, this isn't really tied to any parameters. This is just sort of tied to the time it takes to get from its initial position to the player, which is about 1.25 seconds. So we're going to start that sound here, set our physics for motion, then we're going to start moving the soul to player using the move node here. It's going to grab the soul's initial location, grab our player's location, and then if we double click on it, we can see over this amount of time, 1.25 seconds up here, it's going to move from its initial location towards our player. So finally, we've got our collection here, and this is where that collection sound is going to come in. What we do here is we've got an overlap collection as opposed to just telling the soul to be done. What this allows is so that the soul can move to the player, or the player can move to the soul, and collection will happen either way. That way, you don't have to wait that 1.25 seconds here in order to get that collection. Once they pop on the ground, if you feel like running through it like a field of dandelions and getting all those souls, you can do it. So we'll check to see if it is in fact the player. check to see if the player is set this in collecting. This is for inventory stuff. We're going to make this soul invisible as opposed to destroying it immediately, and I'll show you why in a second. We'll stop that whoosh audio because there's no more motion. We're going to trigger our collection sound. So what you can see in FMOD here, we're going to target our soul aura, and we've got it. This is the whole component of our, the whole blueprint of our soul here. And this soul aura and soul whoosh are two different components that are in there. We're going to stop this whoosh once motion is finished. And the aura itself doesn't stop because this has the collection sound built within it. We need that to continue. So we'll set the soul collect to 1. This is for our inventory here. And here's why we set it to invisible versus destroying it. We need this delay, just a 1-second delay, because as you can see in the sound, we've got audio right here. After this collected, we've got about a second that we need to hear before we can destroy it. So we'll put this 1-second delay. We'll set the parameter so we can play the soul collect sound. Then once the 1-second delay is finished, we can destroy the actor. Let's take a listen to it in real time, and we'll kind of check out how all this is working together. So let me spawn a couple more bad guys here. Here we go. We've got a weapon as well. That's pretty good. Take care of this guy. Get our souls, and we hear this whoosh. Right? You get that nice, smooth transition as opposed to like a hard, aura and collection sound. Oh my. Get a little bit of both. Again, this is a ghastly thing, right? It's kind of otherworldly. So we need it to feel very soft and very smooth. And now let's watch this one here. I can go right over and pick them up on my own accord. I don't have to wait 1.25 seconds. I can go and get them. Yeah, so that's our whole soul thing here in the cave. We've got a couple more audio demos will be coming out of this, so stay tuned. Catch y'all later.